welcome back to the channel. My name is Anthony, your professional yapper, and today I'm going to talk about an issue that I've been wanting to talk about, and I feel like a lot of people have noticed this in like the pop culture sphere, but what the fuck is happening with TV shows? Okay, so I feel like it's hard to get invested into TV shows in this like modern streaming era for three reasons. One, I feel like the episode counts are low. Back in the day, shows used to have 26 episodes with seasons that would come out every single year. Now it's 8 to 10 episodes every 2 to 3 years. And that's if they're lucky and they don't get canceled like after 1 or 2 seasons, unlike any of these shows. But out of those four shows that I showed, the one that hurts the most to me is Pretty Little Liars: Original Sin, because it did have viewership. It was one of the top shows on HBO Max, and it got canceled after its second season for reasons unknown. But these two shows, The Society and I Am Not Okay With This, were really big hits in the quarantine era for Netflix, and both were renewed for second seasons. But their second seasons were canceled by Netflix, despite the number of viewers. House of the Dragon, which is a show that I really enjoy, suffers from two of these issues, the shortening of episodes and the long wait times in between seasons. So the original Game of Thrones series, most of the seasons are 10 episodes each, and for House of the Dragon, they decided to shorten season 2 from 10 to 8, despite the amount of stuff, the amount of material and the amount of stories that they had to get through from the Fire and Blood book and the Dance of Dragons story. And then on top of that, it takes 2 years for a season to come out, and we're barely in the war, and we're about to be on the third season, and they have talked about this show only having 4. So I wanted to talk about this show a little bit. So the first season was 9 episodes, which was fine considering how much they covered from the first Last of Us game, but season 2 is only going to be 7 episodes, and there's rumors that they're going to split the second game into 2 seasons, but still, I feel like 7 episodes is really short for the amount of story that is covered in the second game. And in the days of cable, popular TV shows had at least 13 to 26 episodes a season. And season 2 was slightly delayed because this happened. The writers and actors strike of 2023. Basically, greedy studio executives did not want to pay their writers and their actors what they were worth. And they did not want to protect them against AI. And that's why they went on strike for a couple months, resulting in projects getting delayed. And I am on the side of the writers and actors, worker solidarity forever, fuck capitalism. But it just sucks how corporate greed takes the joy out of art, like movies and TV shows and games. All of that, I feel like, is ruined by corporations trying to make money off the fans. Like, to the extent of canceling already finished movies for a fucking tax write-off, like, it's ridiculous. And it sucks that these people put their heart and soul into projects that will never see the light of day because of these greedy studio executives. And this is a really big misconception. Not all actors are rich. If you're not like an A-list Ryan Gosling, Margot Robbie, you are not rich. There's a lot of people who are in the acting and writing industry right now, working second jobs, third jobs, struggling with rent. Like, not everybody in the movie and TV industry is rich. And I feel like that's a big lie that Hollywood has pushed out. Like, I forgot this woman's name, but she was an actress, and I want to say she was like a main or a recurring cast member on Orange is the New Black. And some of her residual checks came out to like 80 cents. Side note, if anything fucking happens to this show, I am burning down Paramount Studios, I am burning down Netflix HQ, whoever is responsible for if anything happens to this show, I'm going off and I'm crashing out. Yellow Jackets was one of the shows affected by the writers and actors strike, and it is one of my favorite shows. I feel like it's one of the best well-written shows in like modern history, well, at least the first season. but I really hope it does not get canceled. Back to the topic. Also, I feel like studios need to be better at like marketing these projects. Like, for example, this show, which has not gotten like any marketing at all other than like ads on YouTube. I don't know, but I feel like marketing plays a huge part in why these shows get like low viewership numbers, especially on Netflix when they drop like 10 things a week. And then I feel like the entertainment industry has gotten like too political on both sides, and now nobody can enjoy anything because if there's anything with a woman of color or any with a person of color or a woman or a queer person, it's automatically labeled as woke. Yeah, I feel like it's just very controversy driven. A lot of YouTubers make money off of this type of controversy. There's people who make money over getting mad that Disney decided to make a fictional mermaid a woman of color. Or like with this show, which I'm not gonna lie, kind of got hated on for no reason. And then the issue with ratings, I feel like especially like Netflix, but like every streaming service expects every show to be like Squid Game level, Stranger Things level like viewership numbers, and I feel like they never give these shows like time to like build audience, because I feel like with shows the first season is not always the best. At this point, I do not give a fuck about this show anymore. It's been like 3 years. I don't know how the fuck it took like 7 years to make 3 seasons. I was in 8th grade when this shit first came out. But yeah, like even with all the stuff that happened, like with Angus Cloud dying, like I don't care about this show at this point. Like it's been almost 3 years since the second season came out. Like Zendaya is gonna be 40, still playing Rue. But yeah, I really hope season 3 is the last season for this show because even the cast seems done with this show. I do kind of want to talk about like the binge model a little bit. I feel like it works for some shows and it doesn't work for other shows. Like the binge model is basically like where they drop like how Netflix does it, where they drop like the entire season in like one day. I prefer the weekly release thing because it's funner and it builds and it gets me actually like interested to watch the show every week, as opposed to watching a show an entire day and then forgetting about it for like a year. Like Wednesday, I watched this like one day when it first came out, and then I forgot about it. Like I keep forgetting the show exists. And season 2 is supposed to come out next year or 2026. It's crazy how it took 9 years to make 5 seasons of a show. Like these kids were like 12 when they first started doing this shit, and now they're about to be like they're all in their 20s. But yeah, Stranger Things is still a good show. I just feel like it takes forever to release, and it should have ended like 2 years ago. Okay, now I want to talk about the Marvel TV shows a little bit because I feel like these would have been better if they were released like on Netflix or on cable, like the old Marvel shows, like Agent Carter, Daredevil, the Jessica Jones. Like I feel like all of these shows would have been better if they would have had 10 episodes and did not release on Disney Plus. Okay, now I want to talk about The Elementary because it's the one show that I feel like it's doing it right with like 26 episodes and it comes out like every single year. And I love it. It brings me back to like the old days of cable from when I was a kid. God, I sound like a fucking boomer. I'm 19, y'all. I'm 19. Alright, those were all the shows that I wanted to talk about today. The last thing I did want to talk about is the fucking streaming services. There is too many. There's like 30. Like, look at this picture. But yeah, I just feel like the number of streaming services and like the prices have gotten out of control. Like, I feel like we're just back to cable. Alright, that's all I had to say. Thank you guys for watching. This was Anthony, your professional yapper, signing out.